Welcome to today's broadcast, and I want to tell you the 7 values that you can add to a relationship, the 7 values you can add to a marriage, the 7 values you can add to your relationship and to your marriage. That's what I'm talking about today. Now, let me tell you that giving value is of importance. Most of the relationships we have now, including the one you have, you would agree with me that most of the time, one of the basic reasons for disagreement and fights and divorces, like they say, is irreconcilable differences. Now you ask yourself, what are irreconcilable differences? It's a case of what the vibe the other person is giving is not the vibe the other person is agreeing with or wants. So at the end of the day, you end up doing what your spouse does not want. And in your mind, you're working, and that's the truth. You are working, you are hustling, you are trying to protect him, you are doing all sorts of things. But what you're doing is not what he is expecting. So what happens next? Off you go. You either fight regularly and live together, or you separate. And in most cases, if it's a relationship, the man either says he's no longer interested, or the woman says she's no longer interested. So today I'm going to tell you the 7 things you have to practice. And like I said, put these things down in a sheet of paper, practice over and over. That's how we all become better persons. Sometimes we were not all born with good behaviors because the houses and the environment we grew from determines how we behave. For example, I'm speaking like I'm speaking because I lived in the village. If I was born in US, maybe my accent would have been different. Automatically, not maybe, it would have been different. So, highest case scenario, my behavior is my behavior. The type of food I eat and like is because of where I grew up. But we can all be better off than how we were made. When your parents give back to you, you can rebirth yourself. And that's why I will tell you these 7 things. Keep it in mind and stay with me. At the end of this video, or before the end, somewhere in between this video, I'm going to tell you the main important one that really counts in these 7 points. You need to know the exact one you have to first of all put as number 1. And if you find value in this video, please support me by giving me a thumbs up and liking this video plus subscribing to this channel, because it will do me a lot of good for more people to see this video when you do that for me. Now let's go straight to it. The number 1 value you can give to your relationship, either you are a man or a woman, is faithfulness and sincerity. That is the number 1. If you are in a relationship and you are unfaithful, that relationship will not work. If you are in a relationship and you are not sincere, that will not work. Can you imagine coming back from office and you have already gone to some other girls as a man, and then you come back home late and your wife is asking, or your spouse maybe just came for a visit or something, and then is asking, why are you late? And then you say, there was this contract, there was this. What do you think is happening? You are already disintegrating this relationship. It's not going to count. You are already destroying this marriage because you are not sincere. You are unfaithful. So check yourself. Would you like your spouse to do what you are doing to her or him, to you? The answer is an absolute no. Most times what we behave with, we don't always want it back. I made a poll online one time ago, and I asked, if you are to marry yourself, can you marry yourself? At least you know yourself, you know your behaviors. Can you marry yourself? So if you know you cannot marry yourself, please adjust these behaviors of insincerity. Adjust this behavior that is making you lack faithfulness. And if you do that, you would have added immense value to this marriage. You would have added immense value to this relationship. And nowadays, being unfaithful is no longer maybe going to an hotel with one man or a woman. If you are flirting on phone, you are not sincere. Why do I know? You would always want to delete these text messages of flirt. These unnecessary pictures you are sending to an unknown man or an unknown woman, you want to delete it because you know if your partner sees that, there is going to be fire on the mountain. Or rather, even if you say, I don't care, that marriage is no longer going to be there. That means you have spoiled what you have built all these years. Faithfulness and sincerity of purpose is the very first value that you can add to this relationship. Number 2, you have to add value by sharing everything. Let me tell you, this is what they call selfless service. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, the only child he cherished, he gave it out. You need to be able to share everything. Whenever you collect your salary, how do you feel? Oh, I need to buy the next suit. I need to buy this shoe Gucci that I saw. And then at the expense of your family, you're saying, no, I'm the one working, I can't kill myself. I have to feel good, I have to look good so that I can continue. If I can continue the work, what would they get anyway? It's good, you have a point. But in marriage, if you want to add value to this marriage, you have to be selfless. You can't put yourself first in anything. For example, in a regular home, you cannot be the one watching TV while your children are watching nothing. You have to be selfless. Now the wife too has to be selfless. Not that you have to buy the next wig that is 140 or 700,000. I think there's a wig, bone wig or bone something now that they said is 400,000. You cannot be selfish that you want to buy. Oh, all of a sudden one of your cousins wants to celebrate his wedding or have his wedding, and you don't have enough money at home, but because of your selfishness you could go and borrow at the expense of your own. Selflessness can add immense value to a house. Try it out. Be selfless. Give things at ease. Don't complain when your wife says, I want to buy something, and you have the money. And if you don't have the money, don't shout you don't have it. Just tell him or tell her, honey, I will do this thing. But all of a sudden, something is fishy somehow. That's it. She's not going to, instead of saying, what do you want me to get money? What? By the time you say that, you still will not give this money. So if you had said, okay, no problem, how much do you call it? Okay, I'll do something to it. Have you still given the money? The answer is no. But all of a sudden, the wife can see peace in you and then understand you are trying to help her. If you cannot come up with it, she would understand. Don't argue. I can hear you say, you don't know my wife. Yes, I don't know my wife, but your own attitude is bringing her to that next level. Action and reaction are equal and opposite. Try this first before you negate me. Try this before you leave listening to what I have to say. I told you I'm going to say 7, and I've just said 2. Now let's go to number 3. Respect is the food for the men. Men are built on ego. It is their ego that makes them go out in the morning and bring money back home at night. For those that are hardworking anyway. Even the ones that are not hardworking, they still have ego. That's the way they were built up. That's the reason for their 9 bones. They need you to respect them and cherish them in that order. If you respect a man to stupor, you would have added immense value to him and added immense value to your marriage and relationship. And by the way, I always hear these excuses when people come up to me. And also, I can lay my hands out for you to grab. If you have questions, you have challenges, you want me to advise or look into critically for you, go to the comment section and you will see my WhatsApp group. You can join. You also can see my Facebook group. You can join by doing this singularly. You can reach out to me in my inboxes and my personal WhatsApp, and I can reach out to you and help you out about these cases. There is no problem that is insurmountable. They all have solutions. It's the solutions you can't get. Nowadays, you can't see people to trust. You don't have people to trust. So if you have a genuine person who doesn't really know you, that can help you fix your things, reach out to him and let him fix. But I was saying, ego is for men. You have to help him rob his ego. So when he say, I am this, don't tell him, get out, what do you have? No, that's the wrong way. When he says, I am this, you say, yes, that's my husband. Even in you, you know, this one does not want anything. But don't worry, it's a matter of time. It will be worth it. As soon as you can back him up, it will be worth more. Whenever he says something and you don't agree with him, don't mention it to his face. Don't bullshit him to his face. What do? Rob his ego. That will add immense value to him. And for the men, all you can do is care for this woman. That's why you say women like money. That is their build. That is their make. It's not money they like. It is care that they like. But incidentally, it's money that brings in care. But do you also know that your time and your listening ears can also bring the care? And by the way, God has equipped every man to be able to labor and get rewarded for the labor. That's why you have strength. Not to hit her, not to slap her, not to shout on her. That's not what your strength for. Your strength is to hustle, to go out. And by the way, I will leave in the description below the 7 hustles you can do now to fetch you money in 2021. I don't want you to be stranded. When there is no money, sometimes men are agitated, they're angry, and the women, they are built for care. They need you to come forward. They need you to show forth. It's Christmas, they need you to buy stuffs. They need you to buy rice, buy chicken. As soon as you buy that, she's happy. That's all she asks. Sometimes you see these arguments come in your house and the woman is saying, is it too much for me to ask? It's not too much for her. That's what they are built for. You are built for strength, for power, to raise money, to hustle in the rain, in the sun. That's it. Use your power that you have. Instead of quarreling with her at home, saying, well, do you know what goes on outside? She doesn't need to know. She's supposed to be inside. You are supposed to be outside. That's the way it works. And if you're a woman, stop shouting on your husband. Why are you coming home 7 o'clock? He's supposed to hustle outside. I remember I started this with sincerity. So even if you're outside by 7, do not let it be because you're hanging out with some unnecessary friends. Do you understand? Don't let it be you're hanging out with some girls. No. Be genuine, be truthful, be faithful. You would have added value. Then care for the man. Care for the woman, I mean to say. So if you have money, care for her. Let her look good. Like they always say, they say, rich men, the riches appears on their woman. That is not far-fetched. It's normal because that's the way it runs. If you take care of your wife, she's going to take care of you by supporting you. You are going to make more because she will have to rub your ego. You can't give a woman 2 million for vacation, for example, and then she tells you are stupid. She can't, because as soon as you do what nature bestows on them, she will naturally respect you. So instead of hustling at home and shouting, go out and hustle. Don't forget, even if you're a woman, go into the link in the description and in the comments. I'm going to pin it there. The jobs 7 you can do from home and even on the street that can fetch you tons of money that you can spend. So if you're a woman, you want to work from home, you can read that and view that, you get something from it, and then you can start something. And also if you're a man, go there, you see what you can do outside and inside as well that can make you money. Number 4 of what you can use to give value to your relationship and marriage is communication. Never for once do not cut out communication, even if you have issues and you're quarreling. Always talk to yourselves. By the time you keep quiet, he speaks to you, good morning, you say no, don't do that. He says, where are you coming from? What's your own? No, don't do that. If you cut out communication, you cut out this marriage. If you cut out communication, you cut out the avenue to solve this problem. And by the way, you don't want to keep the problem ongoing. If you have a problem, solve it immediately by conversing. Either you're a man, you're a woman. Communication is a great value that you can equip in your house, and it will break out all the then say. Somebody is coming to tell you your husband did it. Go to your husband, and then your husband is asking you who said it. You are saying, no, don't worry about who said it. No, tell your husband who said it. It's better your husband is in-house than you are trying to protect an external. If you expose an external, highest case scenario, your husband will go and fight, right? Or highest case scenario, your wife will go and abuse that person. That person too will shut up their mouth to stop talking about your family. It's still a win-win. So highest case, they won't talk to you again. They will say, the last time I told him, he went and told the wife. It's better that way, so don't tell me. When I don't know a problem, it doesn't affect me. But as soon as you tell me, I start bothering about it. So it is better I expose you so that you will shut up next time. Communication is key. Number 5, forgiveness. There is no way you can be in marriage. If you want to stay in that marriage, you need to be able to forgive your spouse. Simple. No matter what he does, forgive in advance. So that when he does it, you don't need to be angry. You don't need to shout, why did you do it? It's normal for us to be agitated. But if you want to have a successful relationship and add value and be valuable in that relationship, you need to be able to forgive, even unknown to your spouse. I forgive in advance. Whatever you do, I forgive. I will communicate with you. I will tell you my mind without shouting, and I expect you to change because that's what we operate with. So you just apologize and we move on. Even if you do not apologize, I'm not going to say, hey, you must apologize by force. No. Provided I pass my message and you speak back to me, at least I married a human being, not a goat. So I know legitimately that you are going to listen to me. I'm going to listen to you because I also make mistakes. So why would I be too bumped up when she makes a mistake? You also make mistakes. So why are you that angry when your husband makes mistakes? It's just an avenue for you to correct things and get better. That's all. So forgiveness is key. Forgive in advance. Number 6 is you have to work hard. Every good thing in this world involves hard working. Involves that you hard work it. There is no good thing that comes easy. Since the days of John the Baptist, the kingdom of God has suffered violence, as is only the violence that takes them by force. So you have an element of force to take every good thing. So when you see a woman who is trying to destroy your home, do not fight your husband. No, call him in. Make friends with that person outside. That's the way to do it. You call the person. Don't shout. You want to call him husband? Hey, blah, blah, blah. No, don't do it that way. Call that person and say, my name is Mrs. this person. I know you have a thing for my husband. I want to be your friend, at least to help you leave him. You sound reasonable. If he says, no, I don't want to be your friend, fine, beautiful. You tell your husband, I have called this lady to be a friend. At least if she's my friend, she will not be longing for you again. If your husband is reasonable from all these points I've been given, then even if he had made the mistake, he will be eager to get out of it. That is what makes marriages work. And if you are the one working for the whole house, maybe you are the one making all the money, and all of a sudden your partner is not doing anything, maybe for now, I've never done, don't nag her, don't shout on her, don't say, oh, I'm the one feeding you. And if you are the woman feeding the man, don't say it to his face. Work harder the more to deliver value, and that will make these things work. You can be saying, I'm not their slave. But even if you make this money and spend it alone, what will you gain from it? Highest case scenario, you build houses. The fact that you are also focusing on your family, does it mean you won't build a house? No. The money for a house is not what you can use to feed. Two different things. So it's just your mentality that is thinking, if you focus on your house, you have troubles. You don't have any iota of troubles. That's number 6. Now, finally, what can help you add value to your relationship and marriage is spirituality. I can't drive this enough. Let me tell you, you can watch my video now, but do you know you can't watch my video for 24 hours? Even if you want to watch, am I going to make videos like this for 24 hours? No. Highest case scenario, 10 minutes, 12 minutes on the topic, we are done, because I don't want to bore you too much. But do you know that there is someone who has spiritual understanding that can really be helped by their spirit being tuned to the Spirit of God? It's as simple as that. If you have the Spirit of God in you, which you can only have by Jesus Christ, who died for our sins and rose up, spirituality, then when you have some cases that are too much for you to bear, it is Him through prayers that you go back to. If you don't have spirituality, you will crumble and crash. People commit suicide because they are depressed. Funny enough, we also are depressed, but we can't commit suicide because we have a Jesus who we can put our yoke on to help us carry. You need to be spiritual. I tell you, if you don't have a way around it, all of a sudden you don't even know pastors are don't use shege, like we say in Nigeria. If you don't trust pastors, you don't trust friends, speak to me. I can help you out with your spirituality. Like I said, go to the comment section below and you would see the WhatsApp group to my link, the link to my WhatsApp group. You also see the link to my Facebook group. Join these two and reach out to me. By the way, let me know what you are facing in the house. Give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel for more, because every day I dole out videos like this, hoping to help you to take care of your family and your mental health so you will not depreciate. My name is Blessing Kolawole. I'll see you in some other videos.